What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Weekend Diecast. Today we take a look at this Porsche 11 GT3R skeleton Rexy livery from AO Racing. So the casting itself is nothing new, and Mini GT has been using the same casting for years. And also I want to mention that the performance of this car during the 2025 Petit LeMans is nothing to be bragged about either. They finished in 8th within the same class, GT3 Pro. However, it is an AO Racing livery, right? And this special dinosaur looking car, people love it a lot these days. I don't even need to mention about the hype of this car. So today basically we're gonna take a closer look to see if this car is worth the hype. Overall, the paint quality is super good. It's just a standard Mini GT paint quality. You can see how smooth the black and white paint is, and it might catch some fingerprints here, but that's just the cost of shiny paint, you know. And the front, the headlights, super good as well. I reviewed this car before. You can tell it's exactly the same car, just a different colorways, right? So the headlight's interesting because it has this, you can call it eyeliner or eye shallow, I don't even need to know. Because of these, the eye looks way bigger than the other liveries. So it has a more like a goofy looking, a cute goofy looking and big nostrils as well. So that's very interesting. Within the headlights, you can see the chambers, like the matrix design of the light bulbs are looks very good. And the front grille is not hollowed, but has a good textures in there. The teeth, the iconic design of the Rexy liveries. And this one comes with 3 golden teeth. So that's very fun. On the sides, it has the canards, double canards on each side, same as the one before. And here on the front hood, air outlet, you can see the radiators, but it's still missing the radiator fan here. I don't think Mini GT will ever add that details in there ever. But you can see that in some of the tarmac works, all the R8 castings. So here you can see the gas tank, and here's the 2 gas caps. Because in IMSA, the pit stop is on the right side, so they will only be using the right hand side of the gas cap here. As you can see, this one's open, this one's closed. But I think they can do a better job to have a much detailed print on the gas cap instead of the just old silver here. That is actually not too hard to do. Number 77, some sponsorships, WeatherTech, and Porsche sign, IMSA sign, all very clear and sharp. I think that's as good as you can do on 64 scale diecast, in my opinion. Here, a little dent here. That is some air intake for the cabin, for the driver, basically. Very nice carbon fiber print on the front lip. That's the strength of Mini GT. Mini GT has been doing such a good job on the carbon fiber print, and it's actually pretty impressive. On the side, when I pre-order this thing, the wheels started to be white on the pre-order image, and later on they changed into black, and I think the black color is way better. Looks way badass to me. And I was looking at this car, something looks different on the wheels, and later on I found out that they put double tire prints here. So those Michelin signs, there are 2 Michelin signs, and they're so long, so almost connected to each other. And that looks super good, especially when you roll it. But by the way, this car rolls pretty good. Most of the Mini GT car rolls pretty good. And especially when you roll it, it looks super neat. right? With this tire prints here. And the wheels, matte finish, matte black finish. You can see the middle. There's a lug nut in the middle. Little details here. As always, there's no braking disc calipers in mini GT cars. And on the side, you can see those more air vents on this tire, behind this tire, number 77. Okay, and here comes the one drawback or one mistake I think Mini GT made on this casting is they're missing the LED number sign on this corner window here, which showing the current standing of your car within the same race, right? This is the number. There should be another LED number here that's showing the current standing of your car. And Mini GT just missed that totally, which is odd because their pink Rexy and green Rexy has those details in this corner. So I don't know why they can just miss that. And the side, you can see the ribs, the dinosaur ribs here, and then some claws here, big feet here, right, with the 3 nails. Good detail, good quality image. This is their class GT3 Pro here. Door handles and those rivets along the windows, very nice. The side mirrors are made of soft rubbers, and there's no silver stickers on the mirrors as well. So I think it's, again, this is not harder to do and it will make the car looks way better, and I don't know why they are just not doing it. Here in the back, Michelin little figures here, very nice. Rear wing, huge rear wing, and there's no carbon fiber on here, and those rear wing uprights are just, you don't see any cutoff here. And again, I don't think Mini GT will ever do any hollow design on those braces. And in the back, tail lights are pretty good, full width tail lights in the back. And the exhaust tip painted in silver. Look at this interesting AO design here. It's made out of the bones. Very interesting design. Same as here. On each side of the wing, they have this special AO sign here. Some LEDs in the middle. It's not centered. This cluster of LED is the one I'm talking about. It's not centered, so some quality control issue here for sure. IMSA sign 77. Other than that, they were super good. Huge diffuser in the back, and it's not separate pieces, just all together with the base, which is made of metal. And this side is about the same thing. On top, you can see the long skeleton tails all the way from the bottom of the car to the top. Disconnected in the middle because of this window here. Not showing any engine design through this window. You can see the roll cage for sure. And we're going to open this car in a minute to see what's inside. Is there anything else that I can cover from the outside? I don't think so. Yeah. Similar as this car. Alright, so why don't we just open this up? So when I pre-ordered this car, and it cost me about almost $20, which is, I understand that AO racing is such a hot topic these days, and they can just take advantage of this livery. But I think pre-order price should still be reasonable, right? If I buy from the third party, I don't really care about how much they charge. It's their that is just supply and demand. But when I do the pre-order, I'm just expecting this to be a nice within $15 range. You know, I understand that those street cars that does not have a lot of you know, paints or decals, that can be cheaper, like $10, $11. And those prototype cars that has a bigger casting that requires more material, that can be charged to like 15 above. But this car, it should be sitting, the price should be nicely within between the street car and those F1 cars and prototype cars, which is like, you know, $10 to $15. But I mean, this is kind of overpriced in my opinion. Metal body and metal base, rubber tires, and here is the liner. Inside of the car, only one color is all in black, and the classic, we have seen this interior so many times, nothing special. Good detail is this fire extinguisher here. Is this even a fire extinguisher? Looks like a fire extinguisher break in half on the right side. And racing bucket seats, and you know, the middle console and stuff, dashboard, and this is door panel details, roll cage, and the engine should be right here, which is nothing. So that concludes this video, and I hope you guys like this kind of content. If you like, just subscribe. I review a lot of 64 scale diecast, occasionally do an 18 scale. I only did one 18 scale diecast before, but I rarely did that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.